I'm thinking something like... Hi, I'm Fine It's Fine listeners. It's Amber.
And I'm Melanie.
And welcome back to the podcast. Yeah. We're in our new space.
Yes.
I love it. You did such a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Melanie was like, let's switch spaces and I'll finesse it. And then we came in. There is a beautiful sign. Plants are everywhere. It is a love jungle in here.
Interior design's like a hobby, fun thing for me, like creative. So it was fun to thank you for indulging my plant fetish that I have. And filling the room with plants.
It's such a nice space. And I'm so glad we've had a lot of technical difficulties. And so
it's an understatement.
Oh my God. Literally. I was like, God, all we're trying to do is a mental health podcast and you keep testing my brain. And I'm what did I do? So
we've spent months trying to get the technical stuff.
Yeah.
But we finally got it.
Thanks
you, Thomas.
Yes. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you just everybody who's spent their time and come over and like help us. It's been really nice, but we finally got it down. And
so this is our new vibe.
Yeah.
We're excited. We just recorded our first episode in here. Well, besides we did one that didn't work.
Yeah, so you'll never hear that.
Yeah. But yeah, we had our first guest and filmed and it all worked this time.
It did. Yeah. And it was a wonderful guest. It was such a perfect Drew Harrison, Nashville comic. Just like, it was funny because Melanie, you were like, who's coming today? Because I don't have a lot.
Yeah. I was like, what's their energy like? I don't know if I can hang with some big energy today.
And he's just such a calm, wonderful.
Yes.
It's always such a pleasant surprise and a pleasure to meet a man who can be vulnerable in everyday conversation and just like gives you a calming energy. Because as a woman, a lot of times around men, you got to be on guard. You don't even realize you're on guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they'll say things and you're like, no, you shouldn't have said that. But you just deal with it every day. So you're like, here we go. But with Drew, there's none of that.
No, as soon as because I didn't know him until he came today, and he's just from the very beginning, very chill. Just relaxed. We started talking about Bob Ross, and painting, and yeah.
And you know what's cool too is before he came, we were joking about like you were like, can we get some divorced people up in here? And I was like, no, not allowed. And Drew is divorced, so we got to talk about that too.
Yes,
it's really nice. Yeah.
I'm excited for everybody to hear him talk about. We talked about some fun, interesting topics. We kind of bounced around everywhere, but it was a lot of fun.
It's a really great episode and a good start to the new space. I want to say, I know it was like we were wrapping up, but I want to mention a couple of things. One, there is a trauma comedy album that is out that I don't even think I've told you this. You're looking at me like, what are you about to say?
I'm kind of like, should I know about this?
Okay. I made this, it's been in the works for a year. It's a comedy album about trauma, and I've like pulled all these comedians to do songs about trauma, and it's so good. And all the proceeds up to $1,000 I'm going to donate to Healing in the Margins, which is your girl.
Yes. Ashley Hampton. She runs Hampton House Counseling, and thank you for that. That's awesome. Thank you on behalf of Ashley, because I know she's just going to die when she hears this.
I told her, but in a weird way, I just tagged her in a video that was like, I'm donating the money to Ashley Hampton, and she was like, oh my God, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, that's just kind of how I'm telling people about this. Last minute, here you go.
Yeah, but she has a nonprofit. We're going to be having an event June 1st, but it's where the what they do is raise funds to help people in the margins and help with therapy costs, but also therapists in the margins be able to receive trainings and support in that way, and then just kind of the community in general it's really, really great. It's something I'm very passionate about supporting. And so thank you for supporting that.
1,000%. So yeah, that album link. So the GoFundMe is in my bio, Amber Autry Comedy on Instagram. You just go, any amount that you donate, you will get a link to the album. And like I said, up to 1,000 is going to Ashley, and then anything over 1,000 will go back to paying the artist because they donated their time to this. So I really believe that we're going to hit over 1,000 because I know great people. They know great people. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a cool thing that's happening, and I wanted to mention that. I also just got done at the Ryman, and I wanted to say that.
I was like, we have to talk about that because I have been wanting to ask you about it all day long, and I was like, okay, we'll wait till we're doing this. So how awesome was it? I know we were messaging a little bit before you were going on, and you were just so pumped up and excited. I was just like, oh my gosh, I was there. So tell us all about it.
It was wonderful. Every single bit of it was just, Alex got to come backstage with me, and they put us in the Johnny and June.
I saw your story.
Yeah, it was so very
awesome.
sweet.
Yes.
And this is, well, I won't preface it. I'll just say it. It was never a dream of mine. Like, I can't wait to perform at the Ryman. I guess it was just never in my head. But to experience it I was crying throughout the night, just being like,
I can imagine.
And it was just, I was surrounded by good people who believed in me. I crushed that shit, dude. My only complaint is that I wanted more time.
I know.
But that's okay.
I love that you are, and I just want to point out, because you have shared like in the past how you come out of things second guessing and needing this external validation. And I remember you messaged me and you're like, I killed it. And I was like, yes. And I love you're like stepping into that. And I think the more of that energy you step into, the more it's just going to come your way.
Thank you. Yeah, I believe that too. And it was cool because like Mike James, the other guy who opened for Fortune, we were opening for Fortune Feimster, and the other guy who opened for her, he was just same energy, kind, talented, wonderful, like just amazing. And after my set, he was like, yo, industry is talking about you. Like they were all back here being like, this is a girl, da da da. And Andrew Dorfman, who owns Zanies and like Outback and stuff, he was like introducing me to bookers and like hugging me and being like, I won't let them forget about you. Like he's just such a kind soul.
Yeah.
Shout out to him too, because every time I talk to him, he talks about how much in love with his wife he is.
Aww.
Every single time he finds a way to bring it up. And that's the sweetest freaking thing. He asked Alex, he's like, what are you doing here? And Alex is like, oh, I'm her boyfriend. He's like, I really hope that works out for you. And we thought he was kidding. So we laughed. He's like, no, really, I want everybody to be in love like I'm in love.
So sweet.
He's like, I've truly found the love of my life. Just like she's not in the room and he's showering her with love.
Oh.
It's really nice. So yeah, it was a great experience, and I'm excited to see what's next. It all happened so fast, and I'm just so grateful that I have that. I get to live to be me. I love me. I do. I love me so much.
I love you too.
I love you.
Oh wait. Okay. Will you just describe not everyone gets to stand on that stage.
Yeah.
Like it's an iconic stage. What was that like? When you had the stage, it was yours.
Yeah, oh God, I've been in a few theaters now, but this one was different. I had never been in the Ryman before. This was my first time.
To be in it and you were performing.
Yes.
That's badass.
It was so cool. The backstage has like the Ryman with like dolly pictures and like all this. I'm like, oh God. And when I got on stage, I thought it would be bigger, but it is a big place, but it's also so intimate. I've never been in a theater that felt like friends around a campfire, but also huge. So it was a perfect space. And the laughter was
just like the acoustics in there.
Oh man, I was like, I know I need to pause for y'all, but I have 12 minutes. Like I have to keep going, It was just like, it was friends around a campfire hugging, it was just like, I know that sounds cheesy.
No,
but
it sounds awesome.
It was really great. And I felt at home. I felt like I like at home. I felt like I killed it and just welcomed into that space. And I can't wait to be back. I know I'm going to be back headlining that shit, selling it out.
I love it. Yes.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah. absolutely. I wanted to know. I want to hear more about it too later. But
Okay.
no, it's that you're doing, I've said this before to you of like, you're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. But I imagine that show this past weekend just like really, really affirmed. Like, I hope it took away any second guessing you ever do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know what was cool is I was looking in the mirror and I was like, this is so cool. Like talking to myself. And then I got here myself.
Yeah.
No management. No, I mean, obviously I've had help and people who've believed in me and stuff like that. But like, I am standing on the Ryman stage doing my jokes that I wrote being myself because I believed in me. And I had, as a kid, watching That So Raven being like, I want to make people laugh for a living. That's what I want to do. And from that kid to open mics to rejections to doing improv for a little bit, you know, like all this stuff. You know, we all stray. Okay. We all go to dark places. No, improv school for those people. No, but you know, just like all this stuff, it just solidified. Like, it just gets me hype when I think about that. Like, that's why I think everybody, when someone's like, "Oh, I really wish I was working with pets," or my true passion is this," I'm like, follow what's in your heart, because it's not just for you.
Yeah.
It's for everybody else. Like, it just makes the world better. The amount of messages I get that are like, it saved my day to hear your comedy. Like, I'm going through a lot of shit right now. You know, that's because that was put in me from the beginning, you know? So
yeah, if I've had a tough day and I want to laugh, I go watch your stories. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm like, oh, that'll make me laugh. So I watch it. I think you're probably the only person's stories I actually watch.
Oh, stop. But keep going. I also love your Instagram. You post great mental health. I don't want to say memes because they're not really funny, but just like quick little things that just uplift me. And,
in my stories. So I only post something when I read it and I go,
That's exactly what it makes. Yep.
So if it elicits a response from me, it goes to the story.
You're very good at that.
Thank you.
Yeah, at listening to the right thing, because it's good.
Thanks. I can't take credit for it though.
What?
It's not my stuff I'm posting. I'm reposting other people's stuff.
Yeah, but some people repost things that aren't good.
There, true.
You know?
True.
So yeah, all good things happening. You guys are going to love this episode. And I'm so excited about this podcast, like the journey. This new space is just one part of...
Can we call it magical?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that word.
I like magical.
I've had a lot of magic going on recently, and this has been a big part of it. I'm not kidding. I'm serious.
I know you're not kidding.
Okay.
That face is...
Yeah, I'm learning your face.
Yeah.
Something sweet and endearing.
That does look like you're in trouble. That's not...
It could be like, are you kidding? Are you sure?
No. Most of the time with you, it's... Oh my God. Same. Okay, and if you're listening to this, go leave a review. I know you're like, well, I'm listening. I know. But you can subscribe, leave a review. You can have 2 tabs open. You can multitask while you're driving. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Share about it.
Yes. Share with your friends.
I like it when people don't really do it on mine, but on yours, I think I'll see you repost where some people have made comments around like parts of their episodes that they liked hearing or things that were helpful. I love that.
It's so nice.
Yeah. So share that stuff. We love it.
Yeah. Yes.
It keeps us going and motivated.
1,000%. Okay.
Can we share? I don't know if you shared it on another one, but I think you shared it with me in a text, but somebody said they were scared to go to therapy and then they listened to the podcast and then they were sharing with you they went to their first therapy session.
Yes, and he loves it. And he keeps messaging me and thanking me again for us doing this because he listens to every episode and it's just like, it really helped. Yeah. It made him not scared. Yeah.
I love that because I just don't, I think I minimize the impact like things I do have on others. And so doing this has really opened that up for me to where it's like, don't discount things like something that I might think isn't a big deal means a lot to it hits somebody in a certain way. And so I love that this has the opportunity to do that.
Yes, 1,000%. And that's kind of like what we talk about with Drew about our tiny impacts make big, tiny actions make big impacts. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Enjoy the episode.
Thanks, y'all.
Hi, Drew.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
I love you.
Oh, well, thank you. I love you as well.
Oh, you're just you're so calm.
I try to be, you know?
You are calm.
Yeah.
Not all comics are calm.
I know. Melanie today was like, the person who's coming, what's their energy? Because I only have a certain level today.
Understand. I hope I've met expectations.
Beautiful
Okay,
energy.
good,
Love
good,
it.
I try to keep it, you know, what's the point of getting upset, you know?
Yeah.
How'd you get there?
By being upset a lot.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 37.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just trying to mellow out with age, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did that take like going to therapy or did you just do that on your own?
No, I did it on my own. I, you know, spent a lot of my 20s being angry at things. And just realized like why, you know, like I don't know how I had that realization. It's just the older I got, you just realize you can start handling whatever comes your way, you know, and you just start being like, all right, well, instead of freaking out about this thing, let's just deal with it.
So what'd you learn about anger?
It gets you nowhere.
Say
Yeah.
more about that.
Because I mean, I grew up in a family just being angry. Like I had a great family, like a great childhood. But just angry at certain situations, you know, like I don't know my dad, never met him. So obviously that adds some anger into the pot. And then my brother has mental disabilities. So that really pissed me off as a kid, you know, just not understanding it. And my mom's a very like, don't trust anybody kind of person. So she's like, didn't share a lot, you know, she'd just be like, hey, he's got stuff going on. You know, I'll just be like, well, I don't understand it. Let me be angry about it, you know? So spent a lot of my childhood just being angry about stuff I couldn't control.
Was it just you two? You and your brother?
Yeah, me and my brother. And our grandparents took good care of us too. Like we had like a parenting team with like my mom and my grandparents, you know, it was nice.
Yeah, I can imagine like being just two children and him getting a lot of attention.
Yeah. But it really, like looking back on it, like I definitely didn't understand it then, but definitely looking back on it now, like it makes me appreciate me time, you know, like because my favorite place in the world was just me in my room, you know, like I had my room set up for me, you know, so I was perfectly happy being there.
Did you have you ever talked to your family about?
Yeah, me and my mom, like, when I moved to Nashville, like 2019, me and my mom had a real like throw it all on the table. This is how we feel kind of thing. Cause I was just trying not to be a burden to her. You know what I mean? Like she has to take care of my brother. She took care of both of her parents as they were dying, you know, like didn't put them in a home, had like medical beds in the house type stuff. Yeah. So I was just trying to be like, hey, I don't need you got enough. You know?
From the beginning, you felt that way?
No, like as I got to be an adult and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, no, she was definitely always been there for me when I need her to be. You know, she didn't ever put me on like the back burner or anything like that. But definitely as an adult, I tried to, you know, just be like, I'll get through this. I don't need to bother her with it, you know?
So what brought the conversation up when you moved to Nashville?
Yeah.
Well, she took it as I didn't want her to be a part of my life.
You deciding to move?
No, like me not telling her about stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I saw it as I wasn't putting more on her plate, but she took it as, well, I guess he just don't want me to know anything.
Yeah.
So we got like, it was nice to uncross those cords, you know?
Yeah. So many times I hear just a conversation can just like change what we've spent years and years, the
Just
narrative
angry,
we've been living
she
in.
kind of, I mean, you could tell she's mad at me about it, you know, for sure.
Yeah. So how did it
nice.
change your relationship once you guys kind of
now
to
we
that
can just be
understanding?
completely honest with each other, you know? Like we can call each other out, like, hey, I didn't like how you said that. That kind of hurt my feelings, you know? So it's not, we have an adult relationship. It's
That's
fantastic.
really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool that you came to the realization yourself that anger isn't worth it.
No.
Because in my in my family we have anger issues, and it took me like going to therapy and learning that anger is not a negative emotion
Yeah.
to like face it. But I'm just curious how.
Well, I mean, that's kind of my family showed me that. You know, like my grandfather, like he looked like an angry man, but he was very level headed. You know, like he's very intimidating. Like my friends would cover and be like, "God, it's your grandpa? All right." He just looks like an old Irish boxer or something, you know. Like, but he would, you know, he'd get angry. He'd be like, "Oh," and then he'd be like, "All right, let's figure this out." You know, like he'd be very, like he taught me how to be a very rational person. You know, like I usually can reason through, like, well, why am I angry about this? Oh, okay, let's fix that then.
So I want to throw this thought out there because you said anger doesn't get you anywhere. Would you say shove down anger doesn't get you anywhere?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I've heard this has come up in recent conversations and I read it somewhere, but it was saying befriend your anger,
Okay.
that it is your best friend. It cares about you more than anything and anybody else because it's something from inside
It's
that's saying
true.
it needs to stand up for something.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that
Yeah.
resonate?
No, that resonates for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, cause I think I've cut out like too much anger sometimes. Where like there's definitely times my wife's like, "You're not angry at that."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, should I be?" Like, yeah, I'm angry. You know, like I guess sometimes it does feel like I overcorrected
Yeah.
the other way. You know, where I like let too much go.
When she says that, has your experience been like letting it seep in a little bit and like managing, or what happens when she's like, "Are you not angry?"
Oh no, we have great communication. So like she'll check me pretty good. You know, like she'll be like, "Is that really how you feel about it?" And I'll be like, "I guess not." Like she'll make me like reevaluate it, you know, and see it from a different way. So I mean, we do it back and forth too. You know, like help her see things sometimes too.
Has your relationship always been like that, or has that been a growth?
Yeah, we've known each other for 16 years,
Wow.
and friends in high school and college, and reconnected in our 30s and got married. So it's been fun.
Yeah,
that's so nice.
You know how like because I feel like a lot of relationships in your 20s don't work out because I'm a completely different person than my 20s.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got married in my 20s, and then when we hit 30, we were just different people that didn't get along, and just somehow me and her changed into these people that are just completely compatible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you were married in your 20s?
Yeah.
For how long?
16 months. Well, with the North Carolina court system, like 24 months.
Wait, what does that mean?
North Carolina, you have to be legally separated for a year, and they have to have it on documentation, and then you can save up the money to get divorced.
They really don't want you to get divorced.
No, they want you to stay in that house until it becomes a problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did you meet your first wife?
Through friends. We somehow were from the same area, but we never really like knew each other. But friends of friends kind of thing.
So what? I mean, I'm just like outing, but Melanie has also been through a divorce.
Yes, I have.
I just.
I mean, I think it made me who I am today, so I'm good with mine.
Big
for
learning
sure.
one, yeah.
Yeah. Like those 8 months I lived by myself in a 1-bedroom apartment were probably some of the most fun 8 months I ever had, you know?
Why is that?
Just, I got to really see who I was in my 30s, you know, like kind of surprising myself. Like, oh, this is who you are now? Okay, cool. I like this.
I remember after I got divorced, there was a moment where I realized I kind of had a clean slate.
Yeah.
Where I could do and be like, where I really was like, got to think, what do I want to do?
It's not a combined future anymore. You're like, it's completely on you.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
I am not going to have kids.
But you were almost headed down that route?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was following the formula.
Yeah. It's out there. You know?
Yeah. But I was like, didn't want kids. I was like, I don't really care to get married again. I want a partner. But I was like, it was fun.
Yeah.
Just the realization there was this blank slate that I could live wherever I wanted to live. I could be friends with whoever I wanted to be friends with. Like,
you're staying at an event longer than you normally are, and you go to check in. You're like, I don't have to do that anymore. This is nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I mean, from the, like, what was your, because you have that month where you're separated. So.
The year. The whole year.
Oh, sorry. Yes, a year.
Yeah.
That's weird. Was it like we're done, or were you still kind of like,
It was so weird because it was one of those things where it took me a little bit to get over her, and then she started having started second guessing it when I was over it.
every
Which
single
I'm so
time?
glad we didn't meet up because we it needed to be over.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't one of those things like, oh man, it's
Yeah.
like it hurt because
Yeah.
you did fail at something,
Mm.
but you're just like, all right, well, this is much better.
I would say you
Because
failed
I
for-
want nothing but the best for her, but just not together.
Yeah.
I think you fail if you didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like you learned some
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I worry about mom because it was one of those situations where it was kind of poop or get off the pot time, and we needed to break up,
Mm-hmm.
but we were just like, let's get married. You know, like yeah, we doubled down instead of going our separate ways. I feel like
There's a lesson right there.
because we had a great relationship those first couple of years, and then it just never was the same. And I don't even know. I don't think something happened or anything. It's just like we're different people.
Wow.
I think that's common. I hear of couples decide like, let's get married and that'll fix this
Yeah.
like disconnect that's
I'm
happening.
just glad we got
or-
married and didn't have a kid.
Yeah, I was about to say, or
Yeah.
they say let's have a kid and it'll bring us closer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad that was the one that we did pick out of the
Yeah.
two, but oof.
It's I have never gotten a divorce, but I hear that a lot when people are like, the pain they feel is like it's a failure. That seems
Mhm.
like that I don't know. I'm like, no, it's not a failure, but I also don't know.
Well, you always have that second guess and like, could we have done more to fix
Mm.
it? You know, could we have taken another step? You know what I mean? Like there's definitely, you start thinking, you look back, you can't help it. You know, it's just one of those nights
Mhm.
you start looking back on it and you're like, we did that. We should have done that. You know, you just second guess a lot of things. So I think that's where the failure feeling comes from is like, like you retrace your pick your own adventure book and you're just
Yes.
like, this is where it went wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, those were so fun.
I
by the-
love it.
Those
yeah.
are so
I had an
fun.
Indiana Jones one, girl. I love it.
What? That's awesome.
Book fair.
So when you were when you met your wife now, or after your divorce, were you like, I'm gonna get married again?
No, I was done. I was like, I'm not getting married again. This is stupid. I was over the legal part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, it's so much.
it's
tape
so
to
aggravating.
jump
Like,
through.
because you got to send the divorce papers authorized mail, so that person has to sign for them, and her roommate signed for it. So then she had to mail it back to me, and then I had to
Stop.
remail it back.
Why
to
would her roommate sign it?
Because I'm sure the mailman wasn't like,
Are
are
you the
you?
person?
Because you're supposed to check their ID. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Wait, a guy shows up and like sign this.
Yeah.
For certified mail, they're supposed to check your ID,
Yeah.
and so that they make sure the person receives it.
Shut up.
Yeah, so it was just a failure
her
on all the
roommate
parts.
signed it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
hilarious. That's ridiculous.
yeah. She just thought, yeah, I'll sign for her, you know? Like, no, it's not legal.
Okay, so you were done.
Yeah.
What changed?
What were we talking about again? Sorry.
Meeting your wife.
Oh, yeah. I was dead set on not getting married again.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, this is the girl, like, I've chased her for forever. You know what I
Really?
mean? Like, this is the girl that, like, and she'll admit, like, this isn't anything. She friend zoned me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
A little bit.
yeah. Like I was, it was like a Corey Topanga from Boy Meets World situation. You know what I mean? Like she went through her like spell where she didn't believe we were supposed to be together. You know, I
Mhm.
went through mine, and then timing just happened. It was great.
Oh my god.
I love stories like that.
Right?
I'm just a big Boy Meets World fan, so I just had to throw that in there. Consider myself more of a Sean Hunter type. But
Yeah, that's a great one. So did you feel like in this second marriage, how did you feel going in? Was there a lot of like anxiety, or were you just like, let's fucking go again, baby?
no, I felt good about it because we did have that way of being like, hey, I didn't like that communication. Like we never let problems fester. We always were like on the spot, being like, hey, I didn't like how that hit my ears, you know, like.
Wow.
So yeah, we were always good on that, and I just feel like I learned so much from my first marriage. Like I have that voice in my head now that's like, don't say that. Don't bring that up. This
She
is
don't
not
want to hear
the-
that.
This is not the time to say that. So it's nice. I didn't have that filter my first time.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I overcorrected. You know, she said that we didn't communicate enough, and then I was like, okay, well, and then she's like, okay, you're communicating too much. You know? So I feel like I found that sweet spot of letting things go that aren't big issues, and then also bringing up the issues that matter.
That's so nice.
That's the process. Finding that middle ground.
Yeah.
And you both like came in with good communication skills. It wasn't like, that's so nice.
I mean, not the greatest, but with each other, yes.
Yeah.
You know?
That's nice.
Yeah.
You allowed each other to learn.
Yeah.
How much do you think you guys had a strong friendship before you said you've been
huge.
friends for a long time? I'm sure that has.
Because we knew, and plus we just have so much in common. So that's just huge. You know, like she's a big sports fan. I'm a sports fan. She loves Bluey as much as I do. It's fantastic.
That's good. Bluey's a great show.
It's fantastic.
How many episodes of Bluey do you watch sitting?
Like, are we doing an average per day kind of thing? Like, I probably average like 5 episodes of Bluey.
No,
a day.
you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
That's still under an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have my morning routine. You know, I have my smoothie in the morning. I watch Bluey.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
I'm not. I'm dead serious.
I'm not.
That's how serious I am about Bluey, okay? There's no jokes here.
What do you like about Bluey so much?
It's just relaxing, man. Like, I've always been one of those kids. Like, I didn't like Disney movies. I don't like most movies that are sad at any point.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if you bring it around at the end. I don't want to be sad at all during the movie. I watch rom-coms and I watch adult cartoons.
What?
Yeah. I need movies to not have anything on the line. You know?
I know a lot of people like that. Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I can't watch. Like, we started watching The Boys on Amazon. I was like, it's too sad. I'm good. I don't want to watch this.
Wow.
Yeah. There's too much sadness in the world. I don't want to watch. I don't want my entertainment to be sad. You know what I mean?
That's what, it's hard for me. Like, you know, I'll watch some reality shows, but I have to limit, like, to like one at a time.
Yeah.
Because it's just too much. I need something that's just gonna let my mind play. Yeah. A little bit.
I'm a big comedy person. You know, I'd rather laugh with my entertainment. I want to be like,
I definitely feel that. It's gotten so much lately where people are like, check out the show, and everybody's murdered in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, this is not good.
I never got I never understood the Black Mirror phenomenon. I was like, oh, you want to feel like a terrible person? That's why you want to watch?
The world's ending. Let's tune in.
Yeah, let's keep it going. You know?
Drive that fear deeper.
Yeah.
Just watch the news.
Honestly.
I can't. I don't watch or read news.
I don't either.
Unless there's something like big that going on, then I'll
even
check
still,
it out.
then I don't. I just hear it from comics, really.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Why do you want to watch the entertainment version of the news? Like, if you don't watch the news, I'm not going to watch something that makes me feel that way too. You know
yeah, you're right. I know. I just started watching Yellow Jackets, which is just a scary, terrible show. And now I'm scared of the dark again. I went so long without being scared of the dark, and now I'm scared of the dark.
See, why do you make yourself feel that way? When you had conquered this.
I know.
Because we started watching Class of 07.
What's that?
They go to their high school reunion, and then the world ends. I'm dead serious. They're at the reunion and Armageddon happens.
In a fun way?
Like the world's flooded way. And their boarding school is on the highest mountain in Australia, so it's like literally the peak.
So they're like stranded up there trying to live?
That's the whole first season is them like, are they stranded? Are there other people? What's going on?
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it giving you anxiety?
About the end of the world, but they do it in a fun way to where they still got me hooked a little bit. You know, like it's not complete doom and gloom yet. You know, they always drop a little, it could be okay. They might be okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't get me wrong, the last episode they're eating boot soup. So, like,
oh, God. Boot soup.
Boot soup.
Boot soup and boogie.
Boot soup. But yeah,
Have you always been that way, like since a kid? You wanted to watch? Yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't like Disney movies.
Like Disney movies. Why's it got to be sad in the middle of it? You know what I mean?
Are you a crier? You think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I cry. Like that's how I get my crying out.
How?
Do you purposely like watch something to make you cry every once in a while, just to get it?
Yeah. Sports Center was doing pretty good there for a little bit. No, they had this.
Are you a Vols fan?
No, they had this. They had this segment.
All right, Auburn.
It was like called. It was like My Wish. Like they do the Rascal Flatts.
Stop.
You know that? And it would be about some kid that was like in a wheelchair that just wanted to play catch with his favorite baseball player. Oh. So I'm just sitting there, just like all he wanted to do.
Oh my God, that's like, a paid actor, Drew.
Like they get me every time. Every time I'm like, right, yeah, that kid just wanted to throw with Mike Trout, man.
Oh. I think it's so cool how emotionally like in tune you are, because I feel like that's rare for men.
Yeah.
Especially just to be open about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you feel like in your relationships with guys, you have to? Are they like, whoa, you watch Bluey?
Yeah, like luckily a lot of my friends have kids, so
Oh,
they
nice.
watch it too. But they're all like, why do you watch it? You know, like they don't get it that I watched Bluey. And we were talking about I watched Bluey and Bob Ross is like my
Yes.
meditation.
He
you know?
oil paints. He was
Yeah.
showing me pictures earlier of
Yeah.
his oil painting. I was like, how did you learn to? Because he was talking about the art over here, but he said he did oil painting, and I was like, how'd you learn? He's like, watching Bob Ross.
Bob Ross,
True.
Yeah.
You're
He said
such a-
it's meditative.
Yeah.
How
He's
I
got
was
such a
impressed.
soothing voice.
He does.
that's so
Yeah.
nice.
I'll show you some pictures when we're.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I heard that
It's
Bob Ross
good.
too. Like the episodes are supposed to take you on a journey. Like if you put
Yeah.
the pictures together, it's
Oh,
like
that's pretty cool.
yeah,
Like different paths and
Mhm.
stuff. Oh, that's awesome. I would love to see. I wish like he's been dead for quite some time. I wish like a museum would like do like the history of Bob
Yeah.
Ross.
I think there is a Bob Ross museum.
is there.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got to go.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's far from here either. I
Oh,
remember
that would
seeing
be
it on the
amazing.
road somewhere.
Well, he
That'd be
he
cool.
filmed everything in Indiana, so maybe it's up
Oh,
there.
maybe there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool. That's
Mhm.
not far.
I don't think we've really talked for a long amount of time.
Yeah, we
Ever?
always have to see each other. But hey, how you doing?
Yeah, and then go. Yeah. So I'm so impressed by how calm and like, I don't know, just chill you are. In
Oh,
tune.
thank you.
The Bob Ross experience. Kaylee is pulling it up. Oh my God, it's an
Yes.
experience. Thank you, Kaylee.
I'm here for it.
Muncie, Indiana.
Yes.
Oh wow.
far is
Okay,
that?
well it looks a little
That's where Parks and Rec.
sad. Oh no, it's got
Oh, they got the original
video.
cameras and his
It's-
paintbrushes.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm there.
Look at that.
Let's
Mhm.
make a road trip.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go do it.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Bye everybody. That looks really thank you. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just
And I mean, he just really like. I just appreciate him because I watched his biography one night. Like I was already into watching him paint, and then because they have. Do y'all ever watch Pluto? Like that free TV?
Mm-mm.
I don't
I
think
know
so.
what you're talking about. It's like an app on
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
They have free TV, and they have like a bunch of old TV shows and stuff. Like they have a Baywatch channel and like an American Gladiators channel, like Jeopardy, like stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Where it
But you-
only plays that?
Yeah, old episodes. So that's where I've been watching Bob Ross because it has a Bob Ross channel. And on the Bob Ross channel one night, I couldn't sleep, and I turned it on to like be like, maybe I can just fall asleep to the painting. And it was his biography,
Oh, you got
and I was
sucked
like,
in.
what? And he really got a lot of flack from the art community for wanting to make everyone feel involved. You know what I mean? Like in the
Mhm.
90s, the art world was very prestigious, and
Mhm.
it's you have to be high in fashion to get to the art
Yeah.
gallery, you know. And Bob Ross like, nah, man, I just want everyone to paint, you know.
Yeah.
And the art community really didn't like that, and so he was like, well, I don't care if you like it or not. I want people to have fun painting. And he really
Wow.
like he wasn't considered a great artist by his peers because of that, because
Wow.
they felt he like
Because he
watered
spoke
it
to
down.
poor people.
Yeah, right. Those poor people want to paint.
Yeah.
I remember watching Bob Ross growing up.
Mhm.
It was fun, like to
Yeah.
watch. It was like,
That I would watch it in that like This Old House, like the guy fixing up the house and
yes.
stuff.
Oh, do you guys remember Pappy Land?
That hit something in my brain. I
He's a
don't remember.
painter too. Yeah,
heard
he's
of
like
that.
Bob Ross, but like
Okay.
adjacent. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll have
he
to check it
calls
out.
himself Pappy, so
Pappy.
you gotta be
I
careful with that
I
one.
beat a pappy.
When did you get into like painting with Bob?
This is recently. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I've only done like 4 or 5 paintings. Like I'm just like it's pretty new.
Is that so? Like you're a comedian. We haven't
Mhm.
mentioned that, but I've figured since the podcast is about that,
Yeah.
people know. But like, is that something that you really enjoy? Like having a different art
Yes.
outlet?
Yes. So I got like during the pandemic. So I mean, just to give a base, like I was just always told by a bunch of teachers and counselors and stuff growing up, like there's no money in art. Don't get
Mhm.
into art.
Mhm.
Like I really loved art as a kid. Like I loved drawing and like I would blend my 2 favorite things, is sports and art, and I would redesign team uniforms,
Oh wow!
like what I think they should look like and stuff. Like this is when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. And then like everyone's like, dude, you can't. Why are you drawing? There's no money in that. Go get on the baseball field. That's how, you know. So I just switched and did sports all of my teens and 20s. And then during the shutdown, I really got back into drawing and doodling, and My wife's family's been super supportive. Like every Christmas, they get me like a Michael's gift card.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I saw I got all like I bought like the Bob Ross like bundle, I
Yeah.
guess they call it. So
Uh-huh.
it's got a bunch of his paints and stuff. So I just got into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
What do you feel when you're painting?
Right now, just stress because I'm like trying to follow along and like get
Oh,
it. But like
interesting.
now, I'm like I've got a couple under my belt where like I feel like I've learned some of the technique and stuff. So like the last one, I really got to just chill and paint what I want. Like it didn't match what he was painting at all, but I was
Mhm.
using his techniques and stuff. So like now I'm like now I feel like I've hit the sweet spot where I'm just like, oh okay, let's put a happy
Mm.
little tree here. But now I'm out of canvases, so now I gotta go to Michael's and get some canvases. So
That is so cool.
yeah,
I
thank
love
you.
that.
I do too. That's amazing.
Have you this seems like a hardship, but have you ever been to therapy?
I did it one time when I was like 19, 20. Like I came home, I went to East Carolina University and didn't like it. Just didn't like Greenville, North Carolina as a
Mm.
town.
You're from North Carolina, right?
Yeah. And I was 17, like I just don't feel like I was ready
Mm-hmm.
to be in that much of a, like it was like like too stimulating, like I had too many choices. You know what I mean? Like, not that I didn't have freedom at home, it's just too much going on. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a wise choice as a 17. I feel like most 17-year-olds would be like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw somebody get shot Halloween,
Oh.
like right at a
Oh.
convenience store. So like that just kind of messed with me a little bit. And I just came home and went to community college and just kind of was like down. And my
Yeah.
mom could kind of pick on it. So she tried to get me, to see people and help. And just didn't vibe with my therapist. So I only went like 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bummer. And that
Yeah.
kind of did that where you were like, I'm good on therapy.
Yeah. Because they also put me on a medication I didn't really like vibe with at all. Like it just made me feel nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're at Paxil,
Mm-hmm.
it just made you feel like literally someone could run up and hit you in the face and you'd be like, appreciate
Sounds good, brother.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's crazy. At 18?
Yeah, 18, 19.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then I actually was going to community college, so I was, wasn't really hanging out with the best people for your mental. We all kind of just, it was all just a pity party. Like, well,
Yeah.
I ended up here, I guess, whatever. And so a buddy had some pills and prescriptions and stuff like that, so did all that. And I had some friends die. We've consistently, where we're from, it's a big overdose town. We've lost quite a few people we went to school with. So I had a couple of people die in a row, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't want this anymore.
Damn.
So I weaned myself off of. I was on oxycodone, and I weaned myself off of that just because too many people were dying, and my mom took that as like severe depression, which I guess in a way it was.
Mm-hmm.
Drug withdrawal. But
She didn't know that you were on drugs?
no, and we weren't at that point where I could be like, hey, Mom. You know what I mean? Like, just because, again, I didn't want to, like, oh, great, I'm taking care of this son. Let me take care of this son, too. You know what I mean? But, yeah, we've gotten all this out and, had one of those, like, well, let me tell you all the things I did, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, it's very refreshing when you can finally be an adult with your parents and be like,
Right.
this is what I was going through. This is what you thought. This is what was actually happening.
Yeah.
I bet that was a cool conversation. And
It was great.
Yeah.
It felt so freeing,
Yeah.
like 1,000 pounds off your shoulder.
yeah. I'm just curious if there's been ways you've been able to let her take care of you in different ways after kind of having that relief from that conversation to where it didn't feel like a burden.
I just think the truth in that relationship itself is
Mm-hmm.
mentally freeing. You know what I mean? Like, I think we both realize we don't have to worry about each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're both, like, she realizes she put a good foundation,
Mm-hmm.
parenting for me. That, I got able to show your parent you have a good head on your shoulders is the best thing I feel like you can do for them. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you did good, kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's pretty cool. To be like, Mom, I'm good. I got this. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like you, from being a kid, you were like, I got this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just being aware of like, all right, she's, with my brother and got this shit going on. I don't have my dad around, so I got to be
Yeah.
self-sufficient.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's kind of
impressive.
fun, you know?
Yeah?
Like, I really enjoyed the lone kid kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I had a bunch of neighborhood kids, you know, that I could kind of hang out with and stuff. But I just loved being in my room, playing with my little action figures, watching TV. You know what I mean? That's great.
Do you really love being alone now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, not for long periods of time. You know
Yes.
what I mean? But like, you know how it
need
is that you're at you're doing a weekend, Friday, Saturday. That Saturday in the hotel room.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my God.
I
Is it
know.
not the best thing in the
It's so
world?
funny when people come up and they're like, "Oh, where y'all going after?" And I'm like, "Nowhere that
The
you're going,
hotel
bro. I'm
room.
going back home, baby." Yeah.
Yeah, like, I can't wait.
No shade to them.
Like, don't
but
get me wrong.
it's-
I love when I walk into my house and see my wife's face on Sunday after a weekend.
Oh,
But that
of course.
Saturday is
That's very
just
sweet.
the best. You know,
Mhm.
like you get the whole bed, the whole like queen king bed to yourself.
Yeah.
You watch what you want to watch on TV.
Yeah.
Great.
That's that. Yeah.
So, will you talk, because I'm getting to talk with comedians a lot, I've learned that it is a part of the process in what you do, how you incorporate your personal story into the material. And it's like kind of like a goal to work out some of this stuff and be able to then create laughter
Yeah.
from it.
I look at it as it's an opportunity to be super original.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like the more stories are personal to me,
mm-hmm.
the less likelihood it's like parallel thinking and someone else has a joke that's similar to it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like if we had a joke that's similar, then that's weird. We had the same experience. You know what I mean? Like I love finding that whatever story I can tell that I'm like, no one else can tell this story.
Mm.
Like I really look at it from like that standpoint.
So telling your story original way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't steal this joke. This didn't happen to you. You know?
Have you ever had the experience of bringing something hard into and trying to make it funny?
I used to have this joke about my brother having like an episode, like
Mhm.
an anger outburst. You know, he's on the spectrum.
Mhm.
And I had this joke, and I thought it was very funny. You know, about how he kind of like my my great aunt didn't really believe in autism. So her and my mom kind of butted heads quite a bit. You know what I mean? Like
What did your aunt
she
think
really
was
thought
going
it was
on?
like bad parenting.
Oh,
You know, like that
boy.
old school, like 90-year-old, like you just need to hit him.
Yeah.
She sounds like a fun aunt.
Yeah.
Yikes. Did she have kids?
Yeah,
Oy vey.
she did. And one day, you know, and this really happened. I just tried to spin it into a funny way. And his favorite thing is like soda. Like he just drinks sodas after sodas after sodas. And he was like cracking up in a new one for dinner. And she was like, "Go get some water, Heath. Like, come on, you got to drink some water."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Okay." And he like made eye contact with her the whole time while he went to the cabinet and got like a glass and poured water. And then instead of drinking it, he just poured it down the drain. And I mean, I thought that was the most baller thing in the world. So I'm cracking up. You know, I'm just like, because we all knew that's what he was going to do. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
really?
Like, I mean, to something to that extent. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the eye contact is
the showmanship was fantastic. You know, like I even think my grandfather was like, "That's pretty good." You know? And then that just pissed off my aunt. You know, and I tried to turn that into a joke and thinking the audience would get on my side. With how
Yeah.
funny this was, and they were just like, "And that's dinner time at your house." Okay, fine.
That's so weird because you know dinner time at their house ain't all
That's what I'm saying. Who's got perfect dinner time? If
Right.
you got perfect dinner time, it's boring, man.
right. Something's underneath that.
Yeah. Y'all are all just heavily medicated, I guess.
Yeah.
Y'all in Paxil, just sitting there eating soup. Ain't even warmed up.
That's how long did you try to like get that joke going?
A while. A while. I put like a wrestling twist on it, like he was stone cold, like throwing Dr. Peppers at him while he's clanking it and like drinking it. Like, I don't know.
What made you give it up?
One lady, like, I was at a show and she was in the front row and she's like, "That's not funny."
Wait, was that at the nursing home we did together?
Y'all went to nursing home?
Yeah, Drew is very kind, and I was like, "Yo, come do the." I mean, you got
It was a
paid,
fun
but
experience.
emotionally robbed.
Yeah, but I mean, with the ladies, when they're wheeling in the people from sitting outside and they have an angry face because they're not outside still, you know it's gonna be a great show.
So one guy was like, "Does anybody like need a grandson? And some girl was like, not you. I'm like, damn.
And I did one joke, and she turned to her friend. She's like, "What is funny about that?" And I think I was like,
You're like,
I'm
I'd
gonna
love to know.
stay up the rest of the night thinking that myself. Thank you. Appreciate it. Because
No,
I just felt bad because every comic before me was like, "What do y'all do for fun?" And they're
Yeah,
like,
sure.
"We're not having. Shut up. Don't talk to us."
I think they did. I mean, half were asleep, half can't hear.
I just hated that the one lady that was enjoying us, they were getting mad at her for
She
enjoying
was
us.
having fun.
Like there was like a Mean Girls group in the back of the room getting so mad at this lady just drinking her wine, laughing. She was the only one giving us any kind of anything.
Because she was the only one that could drink.
That's what they're really bad at.
Yeah.
They're on medication. They can't drink. They're like, look at her. Just
Yeah.
drinking.
Happy bitch. She's like, this is hilarious. What's wrong with you guys?
Because the one lady got punked to be part of the Mean Girls group. She was
Wow.
trying to be on our side in the beginning.
Damn.
Because I think someone asked if they had kids. And like, the
Oh,
lady
she was like, none of y'all got kids?
yeah, none of y'all got kids. And then they looked at her and she's like, oh, I'm going to shut up now.
I'm with them. Yeah.
Forgot I'm trying to get initiated into the ladybirds or whatever they're called.
It must be wild to live in a nursing home, dude, and just like those are the people you die with now.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited about, like, I don't want it to hurry up, but I'm kind of excited about that part of life, you know?
Dying?
No, like the nursing home years.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have fun.
Someone's lied to you.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, you get to kind of choose, like, you literally wake up in the morning and you're like, how can I make this miserable situation fun today? Like, I'm gonna cause all kinds of. What are you gonna do? Kick me out?
What are you gonna do?
Like, you know what? Today I'm pulling that fire alarm. I'm gonna do it.
That's the last thing I do.
Drew, what are you doing? Like, leave me alone. Try to have some fun.
I want to be in a nursing home with you guys.
Because I mean, me and my wife aren't having kids either, so it's just gonna be me and her just hanging out, like,
Oh, really?
seeing what's up. You know?
I thought in your special you said you were, but maybe that's just a joke.
I haven't found a way to change that part of the joke.
Okay, so you lied.
I did.
Okay, well, it was funny.
I hate to tell you, but I lie a lot in my stand-up. I'm sorry.
I know. I would talk about cocaine, and people would be like, "Coke?" I'm like, "No, dude."
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's great.
So you gave up that joke seriously because a woman was like, "No."
Yeah, it really messed me up. And then you know how it is when you lose confidence in a joke. It's hard to get it back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then of course I did the worst thing possible and tried it at a couple open mics, and it was just bad.
You mean comics
Like,
didn't support you?
Yeah, of course. They laughed at the wrestling part, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Like, did you say trains? Oh, wrestling. Oh, okay, yeah.
So is there I was listening to your special and I feel like
Thank
it's
you.
yeah, of course. Which is called Based on a Drew Story. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Drew
Check it
Harrison. But it's all very I'm like, this is light. I feel light and chill, and I feel like that's what your personality
yeah, that's
is.
what I'm all about. You know, like, I don't want anyone to walk away from my show being like, oh, like I feel worse. Like the same thing about the shows I watch. You know, I don't want people to feel bad during my show.
Yeah. Is that why like do you ever think about like hard things where you're like, I wonder if I can make a joke out of that? Or is it just your way in comedy to be light?
Yeah, I just want to
That
be
one.
light. I just want you to have a good time. Like I literally just want it to be a fun experience.
Hmm.
No weird moments, no edgy moments. Like none. Like no, I'm good. There's
Yeah.
plenty of that out there. You know what I mean? Like why have that out?
I feel like
Why
Melanie
feed
rides
into
with
it?
that.
You know?
Well, that's what I had a question while you were kind of talking earlier around like really wanting your stories to be authentic and like specific to like your experience, but people are finding it funny, so they're resonating with something. So there is some universal
Yes, for sure,
energy
for
coming
sure. Yeah,
with what you're doing, even though you may be talking about something very specific to you.
yeah.
And it might just be the lighthearted. I'm curious what you think that is.
Yeah,
It could be
'cause,
the lightheartedness of things.
Yeah, because I mean, like I'll share my unique experience at the doctor's office,
Mm-hmm.
and then you know people come up to me after the show and be like, "I had a similar experience." to that." You know, like they've treated me like that too. You know, so like yeah, keeping it light and funny. Like we all like I want the weird situations you go through during the day, I want to bring out the funny in that.
Yeah.
Like, because I think just living day to day is hilarious.
It really is.
Like the weird stuff that we do, like just the stuff that we do to our, like I spent all day today figuring out my hard drive issue. Like I had to sit down and just crack up. Like this is ridiculous that this is my Monday, or else you're gonna just start crying and be angry at the situation. You know what I mean? So like, I just feel like the day to day is hilarious to me that we do this. You know,
that is always such a good moment. Since I personally have been in therapy, I've been able to experience that more. But just like when when your day has been so awful and you're like, I could cry right now, but you just start laughing and you're like, this is fun to react this way.
You were doing a good job of that earlier.
Cracking up. Yeah. Because we've had so many technical, like with this podcast.
That's what I'm saying. How ridiculous is just day to day. You're like, I'm just trying to bring this podcast to people. Why is it so difficult?
Yeah. You know what's interesting is I had a really difficult day and it was like everything was hit me. And I wasn't feeling as angry or anxious as I usually would be. And so I was making myself feel anxious.
Yeah, I've definitely
Does that make
done
sense?
Yes,
I'm like, I'm upset, but I'm not upset inside.
Yeah, like today, like you could tell my wife thought I was way more upset than I really was. You know, like I think I said a couple of things. She's like, no, it'll be okay. And I was like, I know that. Like, I was like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not conveying to you that I'm actually okay with this. Like I'm laughing this off.
Right.
Because I mean, in her mind, she was like, oh, he's going to be pissed. Like, because I looked her in the eyes, I was like, this is everything. Like, this is everything I've ever done. Like,
all your sets, stuff like that.
This is artwork that I don't have other files to. Like, this is digital artwork I don't have other files to. Like, just bought a bunch of video effects for my YouTube show that was stored on that. Like, so I think she was like, he's going to explode. And I was just like, no, I just need to run some errands to get my mind. Like, I got it set up doing what it needs to do to try to remedy it, but I can't look at this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I also feel like I'm good at getting out of a situation if it makes me feel a certain way I don't want it to. You know?
Yeah.
And like you said, that's just self-taught.
Yeah, it's just age. You know, like being in a situation and be like, you know what? If I would have just left 5 minutes before that, we would have been fine. Yeah. And now I can see that and be like, yep, time to go. Right.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Like I truly am embracing aging and taking that knowledge of all the weird situations you put yourself in your teens and 20s. And like, I've had a blast in my 30s. I've absolutely loved my 30s, and I'm sure the 40s will be even better. You know, like my body says otherwise, but you know, like, well, I'm working with like half a shoulder and like a kneecap, you know, but that's about it. You know, I'm waiting for him to come up with, you know, metal legs and arms. Yeah. I just want a torso and a head, you know.
Now I'm just seeing a nursing room full of that.
Now I really want to just be the floating head in Futurama at the nursing home. You know what I mean? Just like put me in the windowsill. I just want to stare at my happy little trees.
How would you paint? With your tongue?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah. I'm like, just like headbutt the canvas.
No, he's not angry.
Yeah. I have like a unicorn paintbrush.
Can you give that visual again?
Happy little trees.
How did you get into comedy?
Just really enjoying it. You know what I mean? Like it was always one of those things where I was like, "Oh, it's fun." You know what I mean? Like, because I am, you know, soft spoken, and sometimes to get points across and to be the one talking, I have to have a microphone, or people need to shut up around me. And, you know, that doesn't happen a lot. You know, like, I had a lot of loud friends growing up. You know, where I'd go to speak and someone would I'd be like, they already made the joke.
Okay. Oh.
So I've really enjoyed that. Like people were there to hear you talk. Like that was always the appealing part to me. Like, oh, you get you dictate everything that happens here. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. You know, like so. Yeah, I always just was a fan, and then I had a job where I had to kind of like, it was serious. Like I was watching people's heart rates go across the screen, and I had to like call the nurse if something would change. Like if you were on a heart monitor at the hospital, I was like watching what was going on. But you also have to keep yourself entertained for 12 hours while you do that. So
that's like, what you're doing for 12 hours?
12 hours. Like you can get up and take breaks and like go to the cat, like you get lunch breaks and stuff like, and breaks, but like, yeah, 12 hours monitor. oh, something happened. Call the nurse.
Wow.
So I would just try to write jokes. Like I would listen to all these comedy albums and things, like because you could have headphones in and stuff like that. So I would listen to comedy albums for a good couple of months, and I was like, well, let me see if I can do this. And then it just happened from there. Like once you know how once you tell your friends something, they're like gonna make sure you see it through. So like,
Oh yeah.
I didn't know. Like my friend, like we were at this brewery in Aberdeen, North Carolina, where we lived, and no comedy in Moore County, North Carolina. Like the only chance I had to do comedy was like a mixed media mic at Mellow Mushroom.
Oh
I was
no,
like,
not
I'm
Mellow
doing
Mushroom.
that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. So the bartender was the owner one night, and he's like, just do it here. And I was like, what do you mean do it here? He's like, just do a comedy show. I was like, just me? And he's like, why not? I was like, and then of course my friends right there. He's like, yeah, we're doing this. You know, I was like, yeah, we're doing it. So it was 2011. It was Christmas.
Wow.
It was December 22nd, 2011. And we made, you know, once you make the Facebook event, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was a done deal. So I gave everyone like a heads up, and it happened to be like so many people were in town for Christmas. Like
Yeah.
it's like 85 people packed out in that
Your
brewery.
first mic was a sold out show.
Yeah.
That's
I did 22
awesome.
minutes.
Shut up.
Yeah. I had my friend take it down, but it was on YouTube.
Why'd you have him take it down?
Because I was putting the special out, and I didn't want people to see that and then also see that, you know, because it's bad. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
You know, but they definitely were like,
I mean, according
very
to you.
supportive, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, I mean, there were some jokes where, you know, flew in 2011. That I was
Yeah.
kinda-
Oh, I see.
kind of regretted saying.
Yeah.
Like, nothing over the line, but like I was like, it could be taken the wrong way. I don't want. I don't want
Yeah.
that out there. You know what I mean? Like I definitely didn't mean it this way, so I definitely don't want people to think I meant it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how long have you been doing it total now?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it still brings you joy?
Love it. Like there's definitely parts that bumps you out. You know what I mean? You deal with that every day. You know, like the always emailing, and then I just hate the not hearing back. I'd rather
Yeah.
hear the no's. Like just send me an email and be like, nah.
Yeah.
Send me an
Just
Instagram
NAH.
message and be like, please don't email us anymore. You know what I mean? Like I just hate the no responses. Like you just feel like your email's out in the world. No one saw it. No one cares. You know,
Yeah.
like, I hate that part of it. But it's part of the process, part of the journey. I try to tell myself.
I love that. You're so chill, bro. Like I feel like
Well, it did like my mid 30s. Like for some weird reason, I was really worried about like death and like not being on the planet anymore. Like a friend told me something. You know how you can just let your friends get in your head? Like he was like, we were talking about life and death, and he's like, I was like, I wonder what happens after death. And he was like, do you remember before you were born? And I was like, no. He's like, and I was for some reason that just messed me up for a couple of years. I was like, well, I'm just not what. Nothing, you know. So I'm just really just trying. Like, sounds so stupid saying it, but just being like, really just trying to enjoy my time on Earth. You know?
no, I get that. I do want to counter that and say if you did remember what was before you were born, your life would not be how it is. Because you'd be like, I was in space as an
Very true.
orb.
Well, I think it was one of those things where I was okay with the before. You know, like I'm good with not knowing that, but like it's scary to think like. And then that turned into, you know, like wanting to leave a legacy. You know, I'm like, is anyone gonna even care if I'm gone? You know what I mean? Like that really got me for a little bit. You know, so really just trying to come out of that and just being like, man, just enjoy what you do every day. Then.
Yeah. Well, you definitely touch lives and influence people. Like just this time I've spent with you, I'm like, oh, I love being around a
Oh, well, thank you.
calm soul and personality.
And I would much rather be that than someone being like, God, Drew's gonna be there. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I never want to be that person. I never would want to be like, great, I guess we got to bring him along. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want people to want me around. You know?
1,000%.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's one or the other, but I'm saying like even if, you know, you were never like Elvis legacy, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows you forever. I don't know. Because I've thought about this too.
Yeah.
The people that you do affect.
Yeah. Like
know.
a friend of mine, not to be weird, but a friend of mine died this past week. Just unexpectedly. It had to be like a health issue, like a heart attack or embolism or something, because it was very sudden and no foul play or anything. And they just said there was like so many people at his memorial service. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I just kind of want that. You
Yeah.
know? Like just a bunch of people there when you do die. You know.
I wish we didn't wait until that happened to tell people
I know.
how much they meant. I noticed that when my dad died,
Mm.
of just like, man, I know he would have wanted to know people felt this way,
Yeah.
you know? And so it really changed for me, like that being in the moment, don't wait to say things. And like somebody went, they're like, you're really nice. You compliment people a lot. And I'm like, it's like, don't wait to, like, tried to make that a thing now of like, if I think your shirt's nice or your hair looks like, I'm going to say something, whatever comes up, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
1,000%.
With the negative stuff too. Like, don't hold stuff in.
No, for sure.
But like being present and not holding that back. But I wish we didn't wait till the person was gone.
For sure.
I wonder if there's a business that gives you fake funerals.
I'm sure there is these days.
I mean, if not, we need to start.
I know,
like now.
right? Trademark.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
No, that would be cool. I did see that funeral, that service that would stage the body however you wanted it to.
Why?
So, no, I'm just saying, like, if you were a beach bum, they put you in like a lawn chair with like some sand and like a fishing pole, and your friends could come have a beach party with you one more time.
Wow, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. I've heard people having going away parties, like when
going away.
Yeah, if they know that they
Are
they have
going.
like a
Like
terminal
terminal,
illness
yeah,
or
yeah.
something,
Mm,
having a going away party.
that
It's like-
breaks my heart.
I mean, how do you go to one of those and just not be bummed out?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
Right.
don't know.
Like, my friend's gonna be dead soon. Like, that's what we're celebrating.
What kind of gift do you bring? Because they're not going to be using
Medicine?
it very long.
I don't know. Experimental treatment? I don't know. Because that sounds terrifying. Like, but I mean, my grandfather used to, his family was very Irish, and they would just throw the body on the pool table and go drink at the pub. Like, he wouldn't, but he would tell me stories of like how his family would do that. So
Wow.
it was a big like police tradition up north. Just throw the dead body on the pool table and drink at the pub.
Just this image of like chucking it on
I mean,
there.
they put it in a nice like position. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
okay.
Yeah.
He's not like
just
playing pool.
Sunglasses, Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Style. That's what I want to happen. Find a way to like taxidermy and just carry me around everywhere. You know what I mean?
You have some lofty goals for when you're old and dead.
Have a blast.
Yeah.
I might even pretend to be dead so people just Weekend at Bernie's me, but I'm still here the whole time. Save up and pay some orderlies to do that at the nursing home.
Yeah. Slip just 10 in their pocket. They're like, this is not enough.
I'm like, the glasses are going on, buddy.
Have you seen where you can be turned into a tree
Yeah.
and planted?
Mhm.
That's
and-
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
I
how
really
I like that a
I
lot.
want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had this weird thought not too long ago about just the real like poeticness of having a gravesite.
Mm.
Like, I was reading an article about how someone was like visiting this like famous person's gravesite, and like other people, like they had to wait their turn because other people were already there. Like, I don't know, that sounds pretty cool.
Kind of nice.
Like if people would actually come to your gravesite.
yeah.
There's like a nice one somewhere nice, I don't know.
Well, think if you were a tree, people would come
That
hang
right?
out
Could have a
underneath you.
picnic under. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, people
like-
you don't even know.
Do you get to put the tree wherever you want to, or does they have like fields where it like pre-designated?
I don't know.
Where would you put your trees?
That's a good question.
That was a really good question.
Where would you? I don't know if I have an answer.
I mean, initially beach came to mind, but probably a forest with other trees that used to be humans.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, okay.
What
Yeah,
a-
now I'm hoping they have a pre-designated like field for
Like
everyone.
a haunted forest.
Oh god. Yeah, but then I was thinking, what if those spirits are humans that aren't cool, and then you'd be like, "Fuck, I'm stuck here."
Yeah. What if you're
Like,
stuck in that
rooted.
forest? You're
Yeah.
like you're really that like what? Like because I mean, what if that's the afterlife? Is you are wherever you are.
You're like, I can't wait to be cut down and made into paper, dude. This sucks.
like if you get your ashes spread on the beach and you're just like, I think I'm over there. Oh, here comes the wind.
I love your physical. It's another like painting with your forehead move.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, thank y'all for
Yeah,
having me.
thank you.
We like to ask, like, something that you do for yourself that brings you joy and peace.
Other than like artwork, is cooking for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
If I'm
cannot
not watching
relate.
Bob Ross, I'm watching some Food Network or something.
Really?
What do you like to cook?
I'll not mastered, but by like, I watch Bobby Flay, so it's like, what is your signature dish? I do these like strawberry salsa, feta cheese chicken tacos. Pretty good.
When can we
Little
come
balsamic
Yeah.
reduction, you know what I mean?
What? Okay, reduction. People
Yeah,
don't
you
just
know.
say reduction.
That's fancy for butter and cook it down. You know?
I know about cooking down
Yeah,
butter.
you just put some butter in it and cook it down.
Have you always been a good cook?
Nah, my grandma taught me pretty early. You know, like, but I'm thinking back some of the stuff that I thought was good as a kid. I'm like,
Your grandparents sound like they taught you a lot.
oh, they were fantastic. They literally retired to take care of me and my brother. You know, like they retired, went on like a 48 state trip, and then they're like, all right, here we go.
We got kids again.
Yeah. They're like, we're done. What's up?
Wow.
It was great.
Wow.
That's really sweet.
Are they still around?
Nah, they passed away in 6 weeks from each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's that heartbreak.
Married for like 67 years, I think, like that.
Oh,
Something like that.
Man.
Yeah.
I want that to happen in my next life.
What?
I want to have like a long partnership like that, and then like just be gone together.
Yeah.
That's really
I
nice.
think it's sweet.
Yeah.
Are they buried in a gravesite?
Right beside each other.
I wanna love like Johnny.
Yeah. Got married in like their early 20s.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
did they ever tell you the secret? What would they say was?
My grandfather always says the secret is just shut up. He's like,
I mean,
you
you
think
said
you're
that
saying
yourself.
something wrong, just shut up.
You said that about your second marriage. You were like, I've learned when to be like,
shut
don't
up.
say that right.
Yeah, I hear my grandfather just being like,
I mean, did you ever talk to them about getting married young in the 20s? Because you did that too. So that's like,
yeah. Well, unfortunately, they by the time I was getting married, they weren't all there. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? So I couldn't have like a serious like. I remember having conversations with them, but I couldn't tell how lucid they were at the time, stuff like that. You know?
okay.
Yeah,
That's really
that was a
nice.
big bummer in life, is getting divorced and not being able to talk to my grandpa about it. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I believe that he was around somewhere.
Yeah.
Watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
It's
like,
good. He's like, shut up next time, man. I told you. You opened your mouth this time. That's what happened.
it's really nice you had that relationship with your grandparents.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
great, man. Yeah, they really helped me grow up for sure. Taught me how to drive, shave, the typical stuff. Like I grew up without a dad, but I didn't grow up without a dad. You know? Just had a second generation dad, I guess.
A wiser dad.
Yeah, he's better, way better.
Yeah.
Because I truly think if a parent sticks around, that can actually do more damage than if they just aren't there. You know what I mean? Like I see some of my friends that their dad was around, and they have more issues than I do from it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy in a way that people that wanted to be there were there.
Yeah.
So
That's a good way to look at it.
Ah,
I love it.
Well, you turned out to be an awesome person.
I believe so. Thank you.
Yes.
I've really enjoyed
Thank
hanging
my
out
mama.
with you
Well,
today.
thank you. I've enjoyed hanging out with y'all.
It's been fun.
Isn't he
Yeah.
great?
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Will you tell people where they can find you and about your special and just like
Yeah,
anything you
for
want to
sure.
plug?
Check out the special anywhere you want to listen to it. It's on all the audio stuff, but YouTube if you want to check out the beautiful club that is Dead Crow Comedy Room in Wilmington, North Carolina. That's where I got to film it. That's where I started. I just love it. Check me out on Instagram. It's probably my favorite. I love Instagram. Same thing. Just happy animal videos all day. I don't listen to the nonsense. Bluey memes, but whatever.
What's your Instagram?
At Laugh with Harrison. It's all one word, all lowercase. And DrewHarrisonComedy.com's got links to everything. If you want to just go there, that's a one-stop shop.
Perfect. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming, Drew.
Thank you guys. This was fantastic.
Yeah. You're listening to I'm Fine, It's Fine podcast. I am trauma therapist Melanie Reese, and you can find me across all platforms at Trauma Therapy Nashville.
And my name is Amber Autry. I am a comedian in Nashville and internationally touring. You can find me on all platforms at Amber Autry Comedy. And while you're listening, please rate, review, share, like, and subscribe. I know that sounds like a lot, but each step helps so much.
Yes.
We love what we do. We get great feedback, and we love that you're here. So literally every step helps. And thank you for listening to the podcast. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.